Her coworker says she has COVID, but she found proof that she is straight up lying and now wants to know if she should tattle on her to the boss. If you have any kind of drama or dilemma, you can hit us up at thebertshow.com, shoot us an email. We'll read it, give you our advice. So we're the Bert Show fam. All right, so Bert, you got this email?
Yeah, I got it. It's a long one.
Just kidding. Bert is here today, but he's just kind of participating from afar because he still does not have a voice. And Davi, would you like to explain how we sacrificed our goat, which is Bert Weiss, in order to get some good outcomes earlier this week from some of our Bert Show drama?
Well, we just kept having good outcomes. Like, there was 2 whole days just chock full of, like, everything came together. The planets aligned, the lands aligned. It was Pangea, guys. Everything came together. And we were like, what is going on? And we realized maybe Bert doesn't have a sports jinx, but maybe he has a Bert Show jinx, because we tend to get bad news for the couples, and everybody was falling in love and things was going swimmingly. So I was like, maybe, we had to get rid of Bert. We had to sacrifice that goat, and then we called him the goat of radio. And all week I realized we have been saying, well, this went really well because we sacrificed that goat. So out of context, I think a lot of people were really confused and thought that the Bert Show was actually imbibing in witchcraft, but we're not. That's what we meant.
If you want to pool your money to keep me away from the show, I'm down.
Hey, Bert, just for me, can you say, I like French fried taters?
That's
No.
gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt.
Bert's not reading anything, you guys. Davi has the email.
You got it. My coworker had time off for the holidays. Because of her time off, I was unable to take any days off. I wasn't mad or upset. It's just how things go sometimes. We try to be fair about vacations and time off, and unless it's unavoidable, we try to rotate the vacation weeks so multiple people are not out all at one time. I think we on the Bert Show understand that. We got to do that too. Mm-hmm. We are also only allowed so much time off in any 3-month period. Part of this is because it puts so much additional work on the other employees who have to cover for that one person. Over the holidays, I was working so many extra hours and I had so much on my plate that it was really difficult for me to enjoy the season at all with my family. Because of her week off at Christmas, my coworker isn't eligible for any time off until April. A few days ago, her husband posted something on Facebook asking a question about one of the Disney theme parks. I didn't think anything of it. I assumed they were taking a trip in the spring or over the summer. Well, yesterday, she emailed our manager and copied the rest of us who work closely with her and told us that she tested positive for COVID. Our company policy is that you must stay home for 10 days after a positive COVID test. I still thought nothing of it. I felt bad for her, but also felt bad for myself because I knew I had to overwork for a week and there were long days ahead of me. Well, she must have forgotten that I'm friends with her on Facebook because I never post or comment on anything. So she posted pictures of the cute little Disney outfits they got for her daughter for their trip next week. She totally lied about having COVID so she could use the mandatory 10-day quarantine to take another family vacation. I am livid. Part of me is so angry that I want to tell my boss. However, I'm not so hateful that I'd want her fired over it. I just don't think it's fair to me and to the others that have to cover for her. What would you do? Yeah. I'm hot right now.
I'm hot right now too, and I'm trying because
I think maybe I have a fever. I should check myself for COVID. I am so angry.
Because there's 2 Kristens, the one that lives in my head and then the one that lives in reality. And the one in my head says something, but the one that lives in reality doesn't. But in this instance, she put it on Facebook. Your Facebook friends. So I would consider commenting on the post and be like, that's weird. Our boss told us you have COVID, and that's why I have to cover for you next week. And then see where it goes from there. Like that
gives her time to delete it. and
you-
cover her tracks.
Screen caps. I mean, receipts.
Yeah.
That's easy.
That's the first thing I would do. I would have took pictures of the screenshot so that I always have it, and then that's exactly what I would have done. I would have commented on
Yeah.
it and then forced her to have to come to be honest with me so that we could figure out where to go from here. Because I wouldn't tell on her. That's just not my style. But I would definitely have a conversation with her.
And if your coworkers, instead of, like, for some reason, like I don't know if it's like I don't have the nads to go to the boss, or I feel like it's not that it's petty, but the whole tattling and snitching and stuff, it's never been my vibe. So I would say something to her. Like I would 100 say something to her, even if it wasn't on Facebook, like your coworkers. So I'm assuming you have ways to communicate, whether it's through email or you have each other's numbers. And I'd be like, I just saw you're going to Disney, and I'm covering for you next week because the company thinks you have COVID, and it's really jacked up that you put me in this position. Now my guess is if she's doing this and faking COVID, she isn't going to care, and she's just going to do what she's going to live. This is her living her life, and she's like, it sucks to be you, Davi.
Best case scenario is she is using their 10-day policy to get some time off work for a vacation, and she's lying. Worst case scenario, she actually is positive for COVID and she's going to Disney anyways because she's asymptomatic. Either way, it's gross. This is not narking, snitching, or tattling. I talked about yesterday things I learned in therapy over the last year, and one of those things is don't apologize for vocalizing your needs. Now, what she needs is for her coworker to be part of a team. Your coworkers, you're on the same team. This is one team member that is antagonizing and manipulating the situation. I would absolutely screen cap and show the boss all of this because this is not fair. Everybody is having to pick up her slack. It's not fair for one person to be the exception from the team all the time. And it to use their COVID policy, there's so many things wrong with this, and it puts so much extra work on everybody else. So this isn't tattling. This is vocalizing your needs, and it's that you need a better team member.
Jordan, welcome to the Bert Show. What would you tell her to do?
Hey, I was snitched so fast it wouldn't even be funny. That was my first post on Facebook. I'm telling you right now. I'll be like, oh, hey, how are you? Good Disney trip, huh? And then I will tell the boss, so fast, boy. I don't give a...
Yes.
That'll be it.
Well, you got options.
Yeah, there you go.
Just make sure you let us know whatever you choose to do.
The Bert Show.